Team AP, welcome back. We are almost at 1,000 subs, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button, join Team AP. All right, y'all, without further ado, go grab what you need so we can tune into today's video.
All incidents, we're talking about murder and attempted murder.
Ooh.
Quick pause, because this might actually help you out. Now, the homie Remo will post to IG saying the feds are looking to add 2 charges from 2022 and 2019 to Lil Durk's case.
That ain't good.
And this is years ago. Shout out to the homie Crip Mac. Wish the cest, everything gonna see all right. Never commit suicide. We're gonna like that comment right there. By now, y'all are familiar with how the feds work. The feds can take anything you've ever done and turn it into a whole nother situation. That's kind of what they do with RICO, right? We saw in the Young Thug case a whole bunch of different crimes that people already went to prison for. They got re-indicted under a RICO and hit with all of those crimes that they already did. This is the same type of game the feds play,
bro.
Now, I believe All Hip Hop was the first to break this news, so shout out to them. And it would state Lil Durk's case could expand after prosecutors signal they may add older Chicago and Atlanta incidents before trial. The possible—
He's cooked. He's cooked. He's done. Oh my God. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it happen, but I absolutely believe it ain't looking too good.
Expansion surfaced in the May 21st court filing from DeAndre Wilson, one of Durk's co-defendants. Wilson is asking a federal judge to reconsider his detention and let him out on bond while the case moves forward. Wilson's filing says prosecutors informed defense lawyers on May 13th that they are considering supplemental charges by June 3rd. The new charges would add 2 older alleged incidents as direct evidence: a 2022 Chicago incident and a 2019 Atlanta incident. That could create a major timing problem for all of the co-defendants because it'll knock the case off its current August 20th, 2026 trial date, requiring new arraignments, more discovery, additional motions, and more investigation. Wilson's lawyer says the 2 incidents do not involve him, and that is the core of his freedom bid. He argues he should not remain jailed for months, while lawyers prepare for events where prosecutors do not even place him at the scene. So basically, one of the co-defendants was told, look, we're thinking about hitting Durk with new shit. And he's like, what the fuck does that have to do with me? I wasn't there for that shit. I'm not getting charged with that shit.
Oh,
let me out.
Hey, look.
Let me go on bond.
You hear me?
Open the door. Open the door.
That's exactly how it would be.
Open the door.
Open the door. Open the door. The fuck you mean? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. How you gonna keep me in here because you want to put some more time on his day? Yeah, what the fuck? No, that's bullshit. Open the door. Open the door.
Now, the Atlanta incident appears to trace back to January 2019, in which there was a shooting near the Varsity restaurant in downtown Atlanta. That Durk, whose legal name is Durk Banks, had faced felony charges in that case before the Fulton County DA dropped them in 2022. Those charges included criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The victim was shot in the leg after an argument near the restaurant. Now, obviously, if you're a fan of Durk or a fan of Vaughn, you remember this exact incident. Because if you remember, this is when Durk and Vaughn allegedly robbed and shot somebody.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. Channel 2's anchor Lori Wilson is live near where the shooting happened, near the Varsity, and Lori, police say they have video evidence in this case.
Javita, APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to
little fucking rascal, Derek. You Derek.
studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Weatherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
Banks' attorney says this is a celebrity witch hunt.
Were it not for the celebrity status of these two individuals, then this would be an aggravated assault.
Banks released a single, Turn Myself In, the day he turned himself in. It's gotten almost 7 million views. The prosecutor charging this wasn't just a robbery and shooting, but gang activity. She put a Chicago detective on the stand to testify that Banks and Bennett are members of Chicago gangs.
Is it possible to continue your affiliation and even commit crimes when you move out of Chicago if you're in a different city or if a different area?
Yes, ma'am.
Vaughn ended up dying before the case was resolved, and Durk ended up beating the case. And a lot of people try to say, oh, Durk must have threw Vaughn under the bus, whatever. But then I believe the DA came out and said if Vaughn was still alive, we would have charged him with this shooting. And I mean, if we just go and watch Trap Lord Ross's masterpiece documentary on King Vaughn being a serial killer, we know he's trigger happy. So it's no surprise that Vaughn most likely popped dude in Atlanta. And from what I heard, that wasn't the only person he shot in Atlanta. But this is serious because if the feds are trying to use this against Durk, this is an attempted murder case. A dismissal motion from 2022 said prosecutors reviewed the facts and chose not to prosecute, even though probable cause had existed for Durk's arrest. Durk's lawyer said for some reason they decided that Mr. Banks was involved since some of the people he affiliated were involved in the shooting. We strongly deny that. Now, the Chicago incident from January of 2022 was the killing of Stephon Mack outside of Roseland Community Center. Back in 2024, unsealed court records claimed Durk was behind the fatal shooting, but Durk has not been charged in that killing. That is the tension in Wilson's new filing. His lawyers say prosecutors want to use the Chicago and Atlanta incidents as direct evidence in the federal case, even though both predate the Los Angeles attempted assassination of Quando Rondo, in which they killed Lil Pab. Now, everywhere on Reddit would they be breaking down this murder.
So what I'm getting from this is they aren't, trying to charge him with the murder per se in them two cases. Like, this has nothing to do with what the big issue. This had nothing to do with the big issue. This is like they want to keep him inside. They like we finna make him do extra time. Even if he does get off, he's gonna do some type of time. That's basically what I'm getting from it. I don't know what y'all think so far. Y'all think that they're just trying to like put something on him in case he does somehow slither out of it, out of what the hell? Excuse me. I don't know what the hell that's about.
If Durk beats his case with stopping the feds from charging him with Stephon Mack, well, Cup Crafty, I'm pretty sure you just put this into motion. But the shooting of Stephon Mack was when this guy, Elmer, fudded his way across the parking lot with a rifle, and this guy shot a pistol. And I guess this kid was the one with the pistol. They basically gunned dude down and then tried to say Durk was the one that paid for the hit, that sent the bag. The bag apparently never reached them. He never actually paid. But they were alleging Durk was the one behind this situation. And the feds would want to bring this up because it's another example of Durk allegedly paying for hits. Now, we could take this either way. We could take this as the feds are doubling down to secure a conviction and showing that he's been involved in multiple situations that share the same similarities, or we could view this as a desperate attempt by the feds to bring something else in to halt everything because they're not ready to go to trial. Durk got the best lawyer he can have. The feds want more time. So they add on this little bullshit. Now all of a sudden they got to do new arraignments, new witnesses, new this, new that, and everything gets delayed. And things can be delayed by years. Not everything in the feds is that quick. And if it's the prosecutors asking for more time, That tells you something, because normally, from what we understand, is the feds don't indict unless they have you. And if they have you, they have all the evidence they need. They don't need to take their sweet ass time. This shit will get done in 4 months. But the fact that this is the play the feds are putting in motion may or may not be a good thing for Durk. So unless the feds magically found new evidence of him being the shooter in the Atlanta case, I don't see how they could convict him for that, right? He wasn't found guilty, the charges were dropped, which means he could always be hit with new charges, but they would need new evidence. And the co-defendant in that case, Vaughn, is dead. So I don't see how that would even play a role. Now, as far as the murder in Chicago, yeah, if those dudes are fully cooperating and blaming Durk, okay, that's one thing. But are the feds actually able to prove it beyond just their words? Because clearly they're gonna try to save themselves. Are the feds able to prove he did any of this shit? Again, they're just putting themselves in another position. Same shit with the Quando Rondo thing. Okay, everything leads back to Durk, but can we prove it actually happened?
That right there is, to me, it seems like they just trying to, you know what I'm saying, they using tactics. They trying to prolong the shit. I feel like they trying to double down. I feel like they trying to make sure that either way it goes, he does more time. That's what I feel like. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, they're slowly starting to see that, like, maybe it's not what we ain't got enough evidence. Maybe it's, you know what I'm saying, we can't necessarily prove everything at once. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. How do y'all feel about it? Because to bring, how many months, how many years, how long has Durk been in there? And all of a sudden they just want to bring up new evidence out of thin air, out of the crack of their ass. They bringing up evidence out of the crack of their ass. Like, the fuck? I don't know. Comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button and join Team AP and turn on post notifications so you don't miss no more of my videos. I'll see y'all next time.
My God. AP Rob, what are you doing?